of it. You're listening to ALANUI MELE on PBS Hawaii.
So this is Meso, and you're listening to ALANUI MELE on PBS Hawaii.
Listen up, this is Danny One, and you're listening to Hawaii Hip Hop Histories via ALANUI MELE on PBS Hawaii. Check it out.
ALANUI MELE on PBS Hawaii with Kavit the Catalyst. Here we have Clark, Lord One, Cuadro. And I had an elaborate introduction, but instead I'm gonna switch it up and tell a story on how I actually officially feel like I really got to know Lord One. So anyway, me and Travis, Omega 6, were traveling in 1999 to B-Boy Summit in Los Angeles. That event was kind of like, it was like a combination of hip hop culture pretty much. It was like 4 or 5 day event held by, I think, it's Asia One and Easy Rock, right? So B-Boy Summit was it. You know, we've been to the 97 one in San Diego, so we decided to fly, me and Six, up to the one in LA. So we were on the plane, and in the plane, I see Clark. Right. You remember that? And I was like, oh, hey, what's up, Clark, Lord One? And then he was with him, B-Boy Eddie. We just call him B-Boy Eddie. B-Boy Costco, what's up, Brandon? And we see him in the plane. It's always good to see Hawaii people when you're traveling. So like, hey, what's up? How are you guys going? Oh, yeah. Oh, we're going to B-Boy Summit. Us too. Right on. Everything good. Get off the plane. For some reason, my credit card didn't work. Didn't work. Couldn't get the car. Right? And then everything got a chain reaction. So basically, me and Omega 6, we were stranded at the LAX. And this is about 4 a.m., I think, 5:30 a.m. So I see Clark. And he's like, hey, Cavi, you good? Okay, we'll see you later. And then I think you asked me, like, oh, what you got? What's your plans or something? And I was like, oh, dude, we can't get the car. And he's like, oh, where are you guys going? And I was like, we can't get our spot either, hotel, because my credit card, for some reason, didn't work. So he's like, you know what? Just jump in with us then. And I was just like, what? Like, okay, we know each other, right? At Hawaii jams, and we've met. But, you know, for someone to basically extend their vehicle, extend their family, because I got to meet your family, extend a place to stay, right? And basically add on 2 more people to a crew of already like 5 or 6. Like, to me, that was amazing. So I was like forever, like, I could say forever indebted to Clark or Lord One, but that just showed me how hip hop, especially coming from Hawaii, we come from such a small island that we need to look out for each other. Like, you could have been like, okay, good luck, guys. See you guys later. But nah, you're like, nah, dude, here, jump in with us. And we squished into the van or a car, and we went to your family's house, which was in
Baldwin Park.
Yeah, Baldwin Park, which, you know, it's Baldwin Park.
What's out there?
Yeah, it's out there. You know what I mean? We stayed on the floor. We stepped on the floor. I remember sleeping on the floor, but you took us everywhere. We got to meet, I think we met Hayes.
Right.
Went to the Hayes warehouse. We got to meet all your family. Then we linked up with Leonard them later on, the last event in the event. And and we got to hang with you because you're originally from LA. Right. But I wanted to just take this time to say thank you for doing that for me and Six. And forever, I remember that. Every time you reach out to me and you irritate me on the phone, saying, Kevin, when we're going to do B-Boy Reunion? When we're going to do Inertia? What you doing? I'll be like, Clark. But like, nah. Clark's the dude. But yo, I'll just say that on record. Thank you very much for everything you've done for myself as well as for Hawaii hip hop.
We just off for Hawaii. We were rolling deep.
Was that day? You mean that when
the whole event?
Yeah, we were rolling.
Then we got caught up with Leonard Dam.
Yeah,
Hawaii represented, and it's
definitely,
just, what I learned, aloha, in Hawaii. So
because originally you're not from Hawaii,
right.
So, tell me about your upbringings in Los Angeles. Was it Baldwin Park you grew up mostly?
Leonard Elementary, I started popping like in '82ish, and Covina,
West Covina.
There's a place called Covina.
Oh, Covina, okay.
Yeah, junior high for 1 year. It's called a Furious Jam On Crew. Was my first.
Furious Jam On Crew.
Was my first crew, yeah.
Oh, nuts.
Yeah, 7th grade.
Okay.
Let's see. And then Baldwin Park, yeah, kind of, you know how we were talking about earlier, that dip, like,
yeah,
like there's, breaking kind of just
What year was that? You felt that dip
For us, like
in
86
Los
maybe.
Angeles? Okay. It's funny because 86 Hawaii, we're late. So
Right.
B-boying, breaking, popping, locking was still like on point. Like it was still on a high because, like you said, we usually
Sure,
catch.
like 2 years, yeah.
Right.
Back in those days before YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah. So 86, you kind of felt the dip, but you kept going, right?
Behind closed doors, but I didn't like jam at parties.
Yeah.
But I was so Filipino underweight that I still had, and I didn't so gain muscle, so
Right.
I kind of still was all right.
Yeah.
Lifting myself towards the 88s and 89s. It's when I started jamming back at events. Met up with Lords in Ballin Park.
Okay.
And then we were doing house and freestyle.
So Lords, was that a B-boy crew, a party crew?
It was a party crew
Okay.
that had dancers.
Okay.
Or dancers that had a lot of friends
Right.
that partied from Ballin Park High
Right,
School.
right.
But there was a lot of surrounding areas, and there's Mexican, blacks, Filipinos, and Latinos in there. So, but I was pretty good at breaking, and not as good as housing. So,
Right.
so I kind of tried to put the elements together, and then so wherever we went to all these house parties. We'd be like in the 5-6 flyers,
Right.
on the paper flyers. We just hit up each party, and that's how I got around meeting a whole lot of new b-boys coming up.
Right. Who are some of your b-boys that inspired you when you were coming up? Were they all from Los Angeles, or were they some from the East Coast? Do you remember any few?
I know the cool ones and nice ones like Ken Swift.
Right.
He just had whatever he did, it was just amazing.
Right.
Like usually, someone comes out, you're like, oh, he did that all right. Or when he does stuff, it's like, where do you get that from?
Right,
What is-
right.
And he can do no wrong. It's like, wow, look at that transitions and stuff.
Yeah.
And then the difference was, from New York and LA is like the power moves and stuff. And he kind of had a little bit of each. Like his style was like some of them were hard to do
Yeah.
if you weren't powerful enough. But you can't tell because he was so fluid with it.
Yeah, Ken Swift to this day.
Amazing,
I
yeah.
mean, that's kind of true because he's one of the few b-boys from back in the day that could translate on both coasts. You know what I mean?
And he still does to this
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
He's still doing it. Even out here, he kind of contributed to some stuff
Right, on the Big Island,
in the
right?
Big Island, yeah.
And besides Ken Swift, anybody else that you consider your early influences in b-boying?
Let me take a step before that. On the West Coast, I was popping. My older brother,
Right.
used to do it. His friends would come over, popping and stuff in the living room, in the kitchen. I was so young and small, right? So when they would leave, I would practice.
Like every little brother does.
Right. Well, he caught me one day.
Right.
It's like, whoa. So there was a party across the street-ish. He took me there, and we went to battle, I guess. And every battle, you wait till the person starts.
Yeah.
And it was so long. We were looking at each other, and one of us finally went, but it wasn't one of us. Both of us went at the same time. And I think it was this long, old songs that are 7 minutes long.
It was like a
And it's-
freestyle song or something?
Somewhat of maybe before a Planet Rock.
Okay. Yeah,
where it was long somewhere for that. But so now we're popping in front of each other. And then I kept looking at my brother
What are you doing?
Stop.
Someone has to stop.
it.
Someone has to
We kept
step
going,
away.
and then they realized, oh, he could dance.
Oh, nice.
And that was right before I started breaking. So it was
Ah.
82.
Oh, that's crazy. So you guys are both out there,
Right.
not technically battling each other, but just out there.
But we were.
We were.
Because you're supposed to go one
Right,
to
one at a time. Yeah.
And I guess we were both so new and everything is so fresh.
How
back
old
in the
was your
day.
brother at that time?
He's 4 years older than me. So he's probably
Teens.
teens already.
And you're 11 or something, or 10?
Possibly. Yeah.
Or
possibly.
younger?
Yeah. Well, what year is 82 minus me?
Minus me. I
I
like
didn't
that.
do the
82
math.
minus me. Whatever that is, guys.
Whatever that
82
is.
minus me.
And I'm 35 now, so.
Nice. Are we all 35 now? Oh, that's great. So would you consider your older brother influence in your
Yeah.
hip hop?
Yeah. Yeah, he just found out right now.
Yeah, just found out. It's that sibling rivalry. You don't ever want to be like, nah, yeah, that's the dude. But anyway,
he got me, threw me in there.
See, basically,
I never stopped from that day on.
Oh, that's
I
nice.
just kept going.
So before you were undercover and you
I was
found out, and
undercover,
you're like, yo, we're going to a party right across the street. Let's go. Throw you in the fire. That's the best way to
And
do
everybody
it.
knows my anxiety. I was just like, oh, okay, whatever.
And you're young, but you were young, that young little kid.
Yeah.
So everybody was. I'm sure.
That's what every
people
time.
was cheering.
Go every time after that, and then I started, and then I saw Michael Jackson moonwalk.
Oh,
and it was over. I started breaking too.
So when you
aside from that,
let's go revisit the Lords, because that's an interesting time in hip hop in general. The party crews.
Right.
It's I mean, I know in the Bay Area it was huge, in LA, but like, speak to us. What exactly is a party crew?
I know that in every high school back in the day, they had this group of people that just partied and had a good time and stuff, keep it safe. But then within that circle, there was dancers, and somewhat gangsters, especially in LA, and DJs,
Right. Yep.
MCs, and you know, of course, LA. Most recently, the taggers, and the buildings.
It's awesome.
But you know, it's all tutorial, right?
Right.
So
there were still gangs, but there's also party crews, right? So party crews kind of consist of, like, you had the girls, you had the guys with, you know, the cars, then you had the DJs, you know, like the ISP, Scratch Pickles kind of came out of that. You know, a lot of DJs came out of that party crew scene to become amazing turntablists and DJs. Then you had all the dancers, the housers, the b-boys, the poppers.
Right.
Then you had the kind of shady street dudes in the crew, but it was more like that party crew. It really was from party to party,
right.
and you go and you kind of party. I don't know what else to say.
Right. It's like when you ask where you from, but
Right.
how come are you asking that question? Where are you from?
Right.
Or where are you from? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the party part allowed you to go to an event and hopefully not get hassled. And just like, I'm part of this thing, and we're here to have fun.
Right. It's not like I'm part of a Crips or Bloods
Right.
or neighborhood per se. It's more like I'm part of the Lord's crew, party crew. Right? We're just here to have fun.
Right.
Yeah. That's big. I mean, I think Hawaii, we had that to some extent, but not later on when I got older and I learned more about what was going on, you know what I mean, in California. I think, in California, I realized that was way more of a thing, party crews.
And it actually saved me because, like you said, we were all immersed into DJs, MCs, gangsters, and stuff different. So we went to all different neighborhoods, and they're like, "Aren't you that guy?" I'm like, "Oh." But then their friend always knew me. Like, one of them knew me. Like, "Oh, you can break."
Yeah.
I get caught in other neighborhoods, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you can't leave till you teach us how to break."
What?
So I've taught a lot of gangsters out there, all different neighborhoods, how to break.
So b-boying actually got you out of
Right.
would be sticky situations.
Yes.
Because because back in the day you'd be like, "Hey, I'm from Baldwin Park." And be like, "Oh, it's on then." Now it's like, "Oh no, that's Clark.
He's cool.
He's cool. He can break." And before you leave, you ain't leaving until you can teach us how to, you know what I mean, 6-step or something.
I realized how good I was when one day somebody had me by collar, and I was like, I think I was off my feet. And they're like, "Oh wait, he could teach you how to break. He's so dope." And then I was like, "Oh, let's go. 1, 2, 3. You got it."
That's great.
Let's go.
It's like a movie almost.
Let's get out of here.
That's crazy. Okay. You're dancing on the way out, right? Okay, boys, see you guys later. Woo. Wow. Hey man, you got
So it literally saved my life.
so literally b-boy saved your life. So when did you when you're in LA, when did you hook up with Little Caesar and stuff? And Radiotron and you know
So as we got better and then we met more people, and there's dance shows like Soul Train and the Nia People Party Machine.
Party Machine, yeah.
So I ended up getting invited with my friends to go on a Nia Peoples.
Right. Who's just for the listeners, who's Nia Peoples? Who do you consider Nia Peoples of
She's
today?
an actress. She's a host for.
She was in the movie North Shore.
North Shore, right.
Yeah. She was Kiani.
She's just all the Hawaiian.
Yeah. North Shore, for all the people that want to know that's younger, who Nia Peoples is, she was Kiani in North Shore, Rick Kane's love interest. Yeah. down here on the North Shore. We treat friends more better.
which had Keanu, right?
Yeah. So she had a dance show, I guess you could say. Right?
We actually ended up having a dance show.
Which is the party
And it
machine.
was before or after Sunday Horror Show.
Okay.
I ended up going on there. I did like a few episodes.
Can we find that on YouTube?
I've been looking for it, but I hope so we can. I couldn't find it years ago, but I'm sure now it'll be easier to find.
So what were you doing? Like popping, locking, breaking?
So they have this part where you show your stuff, and then the producers would grab you, and then they would put you as insert like when the show starts. And
Right.
But they, like Soul Train.
Yeah.
Have that. So I got grabbed, and then I was just doing some stuff, and then one time we were at my homie's house. I was watching, and I was like, because I wasn't rich. I didn't have a camera, so I never saw myself.
Right.
I saw it on TV. I'm like, oh, dude. And I was very competitive. I was like, man, that guy's kind of dope. Like, he's really good. And I didn't realize
You didn't
it was
realize
me.
it was you.
Yeah. And so after that, we were on TV, and then kind of local celebrities around SoCal. I don't know. But then I saw, to answer your question, I saw Little Caesar there.
Okay.
He was doing a bunch of head spins.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Kind of met up with him initially there. Yeah.
And Little Caesar, his crew is
Air Force crew.
Air Force
right?
crew. Right.
And then I found out so rewind back to I said Belinda back in elementary days. There's in Covina, there's a spot in Covina, the Zusa, where all the crews would jam.
Right.
And because I was so young, I didn't go. But
Yeah.
I was maybe 9, maybe 10, 11, I don't know. But Little Caesar said he used to go there too and everything. So it's like a Zula Gremlin and stuff. So they would go there. But I was just a little young kid.
Right. Caesar's like a couple years older.
Years older, but back in the day, that makes a difference.
So did you get down with Air Force crew after that, or just like b-boy with them, practice?
Well, then they came back. They came to Hawaii, and then I danced with them. And then actually, 97, I was in the Army. I was on Army wrestling team, and then because we were already in the mainland, they would let me take leave from there.
Right.
I hooked up with Caesar, and then we went to B-Boy Summit.
97.
San Diego. Right?
San Diego, yep.
And then coincidentally, we got Orko to come out of retirement in 97, and he came with us too.
Yeah.
And then he met his wife, Honey, or re-met her again after that. But yeah, we touched everyone.
That's
positively,
crazy.
Hopefully.
So wait, so Air Force crew, explain to people. I mean, Air Force crew is not from Hawaii, but they are an integral part of B-boy.
They are the integral part of the West. They are pretty much MNLA breakers and stuff. The West Coast of the B-boys. They held it down. And still do for years. A lot of basic respects out to them. Willpower. And rest in peace, Robbie and DJ Hayes out there. Oh.
Memory.
Right.
Air Force, LAB.
He was hosting us. Remember?
Remind? No.
Remember animation?
Animation. Oh, yeah.
So I don't know if you want me to
Go
jumping
ahead.
around.
Yeah, no,
stuff.
go ahead.
So in the 97, 97, same year. Okay, I'm not jumping too far. But we had brought, for first reunion, we brought Little Caesar in animation.
Right.
To the first B-Boy reunion in Hawaii at the Puck Sally, the Source, Joe.
I remember that. Yeah, animation, yeah. Rest in peace, animation.
Yes, sir.
Livicated animation. That guy's tough. That guy, he hit so hard his moves. I could have swore it. Like you're just like taken aback. Like I don't see anybody can go on after him. He's one of those dudes that when he got down, you're like, dude, how can you go after that?
Yeah, that's so much poppers trying to.
He's ahead of his time. I feel like, dang,
I can't even do it.
if he was out, I mean, like right now, or dancing is so big on like TikTok and all that stuff. Like animation was way ahead of his time, and he just hit hard.
I remember he just kept telling me to eat, and then garlic.
What is that?
He said garlic's so good for you.
Garlic?
I was seeing him with garlic. Just
No
eating
way,
garlic, bro.
What? Garlic is good for you.
Now I eat. garlic,
I don't know,
everything.
I don't know about eating garlic like straight raw. You mean like just eating the bulbs of garlic?
I mean, yeah.
Okay, so anyway, so you're in LA and then you eventually moved to Hawaii. What made you move to Hawaii?
I got stationed out here in the Army. I was
What year was
Army
that?
medic, 92.
92. And then, so before that, did you come to Hawaii?
Not at all.
Not at all.
I was like, I want to be, like LA have done stuff.
Right.
There's a lot of stuff, and then it was cool. And listen to my dad is, the Filipino parents, be a nurse or do some medical. So, and then I was like, well, go somewhere else, I guess. So I told the recruiter I want to be a medic and be in Hawaii. They're like, okay, gotcha. So
Nice.
it worked out. And then once I got here, though, I just felt, wow, this is where I was supposed to be, But I came as a teenager, though. So I was still young, and I never really left L.A. So this is the first time when I kind of left L.A.
So what age were you when you first came in 92?
I was 19.
Wow, yeah. You're hella young still.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. So, because I thought I was, when you grew up in L.A., you grew up really fast.
Yeah.
And you're like 30 already by the time you're 20. So when I got here, I thought I was really mature.
A decade.
I kind of felt like it too, but...
So when you came here, how was the lifestyle, the change, the culture?
It was at that dip we were talking about. Like, everyone was just chill. Like, I guess, breaking and dancing, just kind of chilling, kind of hanging out. And what was there? Raves, right?
Yeah, there's more raves. I remember more
Underground
house
raves,
dancing.
House dancing.
92. Yeah, 92 was definitely not as many. There's still crews, but I noticed everybody was housing.
Right.
Housing was a big thing, like Mop Top and kind of doing more.
Yeah, that was cool. I mean, that's some of my roots too, but like I said, I could break better. and like I said earlier, it kind of helped me with surviving.
Right. So did you get out of the military while you were here in Hawaii?
I did.
Okay.
I did, and then I went back in, and then I got out again.
They keep drawing you back in.
Yeah.
So-
well, the major thing was I needed to go back to Hawaii. Like, I kept getting restationed here, and like, when I first came in '92, I would go out. I was stationed in Schofield. It was so far away, but I would take the bus all around the island by myself. Yeah, and look for these b-boys.
Right.
And I remember watching a video when I was in LA with like Eric from NASA crew and stuff, and it's pre-Rock Steady on in LA, and we saw this amazing video footage of these b-boys in Hawaii called ABC Breakers.
Right.
I was like, man, I gotta get in touch with them. So when I got here, I was like looking, asking around, and I didn't know my cities, so they could have said Kalihi, and I wouldn't even know.
You're coming from Schofield. You're coming from LA, right? So
I would just go all around and looking for everybody. Of course, my instincts back in the day was to go battle everybody, be the best.
right.
But it turned into more than that. Everyone became my friends and stuff. But first was the battles.
Yeah.
So I would go to if I found Waiwa, so I found like Andy and them, we would dance, break. What was that, SWAT team, right?
SWAT team. Yeah. SWAT team.
TNS. And then who was out there? It was and then going down the hill, what was it? I don't know if I found him in Milani, but I never found. And it was like that was the first 2 months.
So did you meet SWAT team and Andy before you got to ABC?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was like maybe
How'd you end up
a
finding
year.
the SWAT team in Milani? I mean, excuse me, my bad, Waiwa.
Oh, it's right off the gates.
Oh, that's
of
true right there.
Schofield.
You just asked around. You're just like, because there was no social media.
Yeah, what did we do back then?
How did you find? How did you like? That's why I mean, it's almost like you're drawn to it.
I did. I just went around and like.
Did you go to Choice Cuts then? Did you check? Did you find Choice Cuts?
Sounds like a familiar name. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So you met up with, you got to meet Andy.
Yeah, and you just ask those questions. And
Right.
Who are these guys? And
Any
where
people-
they hang out?
Yeah.
And what park or whatever? There's a community center.
Yeah.
And, I remember I went down to town. Talking about this church. I went up there. They're like, Skilroy's here. Roy. So let's battle. And then Jetta shows up. They're boys.
Right.
You can't back in those days, you couldn't go anywhere and not see Jetta.
Yeah. Shout out to Jetta. Definitely.
Together. So I ended up valuing Jetta. He was dope.
Yeah.
And then I don't know where Roy was, but he was doing his thing. So that was a church. So I hated church schools.
So wait, so
Parks.
you're coming from a mentality of LA is like LA is like it's on battle,
Right.
earn respect. You come to Hawaii, it's not so much.
Right.
So when you met up with, let's say when you finally went to that church, heard about Skilroy, and the battling Jetta, was that more you initiating? Like, hey, what's up? My name's
Me all the time. That's just what I knew.
It's what you grew up with.
That's what I knew.
Yeah, the battle, right? And then you became friends with Jetta and Skilroy after that. Or?
After that, yeah, and then we met some guys at CIA right in town.
Okay, yeah.
All them and
So you said you met up with CIA Crazy Ill All Stars.
yeah, they're dope. And,
You remember who was in the Crazy Ill All Stars?
was that what's his name?
My memory kind of
Headsman
is
dude.
fleeting.
His Kazuya.
Oh, Kazuya. Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
So dope. He's like my favorite. Like I used to watch him and his headsmen. They're so
Yeah, shout out to Kazuya.
Yeah, shout out to Kazuya.
That was before Red Eye. Jedi.
Well, I don't think I battled them necessarily at that point. But then I also went down. There's a rest in peace. I want to say Cody Silar.
Yeah.
He just recently passed. But
Yes, rest in peace.
I understand that when we started eating B-Boy Reunion, he would bring his like brother to the jams, B-Boy Ross.
Yeah, Ross the Boss.
And because of him, he would bring him, and now his son
Right.
is amazing and
Yeah.
carrying on the torch. You know?
They're out in Vegas.
And they all supported. So every beach side over there. But yeah, awesome. Thank you for reminding me. So right after that, or right before, like around the same time, I was taking the bus down because I didn't have a car.
So you're still taking the bus from Schoolfield,
Right.
heating up all these
I just hit it up.
word of mouth. You hit one crew up, be like, hey, what's up? Let's battle, friends. Okay, who else is out there? And you just go down the line.
Yeah. And mostly a battle, but then you got to a point where I started feeling the local love and the aloha, and then you realize, oh, we were together in this. And so now I'm like, I'm living in Waipahu, and I meet these guys at a Waipahu party. They're called Loss from Farrington with Glenn.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Thank you. He would come from Farrington, or for Khalid to pick me up to Waipahu to bring me back to.
Was that when he had his DJ crew?
Yeah. What was it called?
He was friends with Pac-Man, DJ Pac-Man, and then had him. Oh, and the other homie. I met Glenn my first year at LCC.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
Glenn, Dale, then.
yeah, all those guys. I mean, but we met them just straight scratch. Like we were just scratching away.
Okay. Yeah, but they just picked me up from Waipahu, take me back to Khalid where the party was at.
Right.
Like a lot of them, like I can't believe like so much love. And then I would still perform at graduation parties, right?
Nice.
And then people thought I was part of that year.
Okay.
And then towards the end of that year, I was getting, or maybe the next year, I was getting invitations.
Wait,
like,
what?
Like I was from here come to my event or come perform my next.
Oh, that's
my party.
crazy.
It's so funny.
So people
I look
thought-
so young. I
Yeah,
look
yeah.
14.
Right. You still look 14, by
right,
the way.
right.
So anyway, so people, you'd go to parties with Glenn and break at the parties. People thought you were actually graduating, like you're
It's just one of the homies wanted to.
and eventually you just
local
get invited
dudes.
to all these parties.
Yeah, so I pretty much, I'd say, grew up here and learned a lot of my adult stuff. And I only recently been adulting. So
Okay, so you were here from 92 and you didn't start B-Boy Reunion until about 97.
97. Yeah, because I didn't want to be that person or at that time to just come in and battle everybody and take over. And it's just what we do. Come to our event. It's awesome. Yeah, we're not from here.
Right.
So I wanted to get myself
Immersed
into the culture.
So what is your history with like ABC and stuff?
Oh, so I guess I ran in. Then the kept still in the back of my mind.
Right.
For all that, I was trying to look for ABC. Where are they at? And then
Because they were the crew.
yeah, well, they were the crew, and then there was a dip, and then
Right.
they weren't. They were just kind of chilling for a while.
Yeah.
And then I went to this one graduation party, and I found out, boom, the ABC Breakers here. I saw there's this battle, so I went 1-on-1. But they didn't want to do that. There's like 2 of them, so it was like 2 of the best at the time, like Leonard Stalin and Richard Gabrice, rated R.
Hey.
And he's like a Ken Swift of Hawaii.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Shout out to them, man.
But I had the flu. I was like, I can't break.
You went to a party with the flu.
I went to a
and you
party
wanted to
with the
battle.
flu and I couldn't break. And then next, battling 2, the best at the time.
Dang. So you battled Richard and Len.
And Leonard at the same time.
What?
So I was just like done, bro. Like, but then we went like 20 rounds or something.
Sheesh, 20 rounds.
It was crazy. And it was just like respect from that day on. I'm like, no, yeah, I've been looking for you guys. And what I did is been going to graduation parties.
Right.
And like, he's like, oh, yeah, no, we want to jam with you. And next thing you know, like, they would come over to my house in Waipahu.
Waipahu?
Yeah, they would
Wow.
hang out. And they're like, yeah, we want to dance with you. So we started dancing. But from the West Coast influence, we're like, yo, we respect you and you have your name. They're like, you don't want to be lords performing.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of want. I had that much respect for them as ABC breakers.
Right.
So we'll just do like ABC lords performing, and then we did that a bunch.
So you guys would perform as ABC Lords.
Yeah.
So that was who was in that kind of like crew, or like a joint?
And then became
venture?
so. I started. I grew like my brother moved there.
Okay.
Jester from LA. He was like 16,
Okay.
maybe 15. So we were like kids.
Dang.
Being kids, and
Right.
grown ups in Hawaii. So, like you said, like, yeah, we're probably pretty much from here. So.
Yeah.
And then his buddy Joker, Jannar, and then I got Gino. There's 4 of us, and then it's pretty much a bunch of them was brewing. Like we would perform, it's still just Lords, but a bunch of them that was ABC-ish would just hang out with us, and
Right.
there's these new kids from LA, the Lords. And I was like, oh, this might be getting kind of big. So I was like, yeah, just keep it like ABC
Yeah.
breakers. I don't want to infiltrate.
Yeah.
I'll keep it all good. With the name and then the time frame of
Right.
the B-Boy reunion, I wanted to wait just so everybody knew us as just these people you hung out with and the locals and stuff.
So what happened to the Lords crew? Everybody kind of.
So like that's a good question. So I'm the only one here
Right.
now. My brother left, and then they all became ABC, and then so that's why I'm Lord 1. So I'm the only one here from the
Okay,
Lords.
there you go.
So I like to, know my roots and stuff. So it reminds me. But then with my respect for ABC Breakers, like yeah. So people ask, "Were you ABC Breakers?" No, kind of maybe, but I did dance with them. But
Right.
we danced with each other. Like nowadays, like you gotta joining different crews.
Right.
The West Coast, and I really like that.
So it's like a mutual respect you guys
Yeah.
had for each other. I mean, technically, there's a lot of people that's like, oh, I'm not really that crew.
Right.
But we're friends. So I would consider myself, definitely a part of the crew, but not in the crew.
Right. But then the younger cats started coming up. So, so that was the Lord's side, and then on the ABC side, there's Richard and Leonard,
Right.
and then they picked up a few other guys, Skilroy and Jetta.
Yep.
So that became a pretty powerful crew, right?
Definitely. And that was what, 94?
93.
3?
Yeah.
93,
Got here
94?
92. Could've
No,
been
yeah,
93, 94.
because if I remember that event at Pro City Warehouses
Yeah.
when I think Rocksteady came through, that might have been 95, 4 or 5.
4 or 5, yeah.
Because I remember Quest was spraying outside.
Chris.
Shout out to Quest.
Shout out to Chris.
Definitely. And then I remember Rocksteady was there. And I don't know if that's that would it's kind of blurred to me now. But like, is that when ABC was one of the times ABC transitioned? I mean, what's your
For the longest time, I was like, yeah, you guys are awesome. Everyone knows you. You're on videos, VHS tapes, and maybe keep your name and stuff. And then right after that, like you said, Rock City came in, and next thing you know, they're like, battled in at the Source.
Oh, the Source, okay.
Which is historic. I think I was like on a military
Right.
thingy, like in a Big Island or something. So I never really got down officially, but it was amongst, I knew them and they knew me, but this and that. but they did totally change their name to like Rocksteady.
Right, Rocksteady
And
Hawaii.
then a couple of the guys from the Lords joined them to
Oh,
be
okay.
ABC then Rocksteady.
Oh wow.
So there's pretty much this Lord one is me just by myself, but they joined Rocksteady, and then I was like, okay, so what's next? So for me, I feel with the name comes responsibility.
Yeah, definitely.
How you want to be, what's your legacy? Like how you want the next generation
Right,
to
right.
keep going? Because I felt like at that point I already did my part. Like just start to try, got these guys up. So maybe a jam. So I waited aside. So that was another reason I waited. He said 95, right?
Yeah.
So I waited, 2 years to
Right.
throw my first jam. I waited. I didn't want to jump into their stuff. So I did mine 2 years later. But it was about getting everybody together.
Yeah.
It wasn't for one crew, one super crew, or one person.
So is that why you named the jam B-Boy Reunion?
Right. That's why. That,
Right. So it was
together.
strategic to a point where you wanted to kind of like let things pass.
Right.
And then
Behind
once you
them.
felt it was time, it was
Right.
time to renew the family almost. Like bring everybody back into the fold, let everybody know we're Hawaii, we're cool. And so it's like a
Just
reunion,
place to
family
come, yeah.
reunion.
But I knew like these kids that we were with now that would move to the mainland that are here still in 20 years, like thinking forward 20 years, I knew that it would be a real reunion.
Yeah.
So now, like on mainland, they're actually trying to throw b-boy reunions, but they can't because it's hard. But they would say it like these are my homies, like old school homies
Right.
in New York and stuff. But thank you for that. But I already saw that, and I knew what we can do.
Right.
And it wasn't really a threat to come out here because if you would come from New York or China, it's like thousands of miles, and I'm scared to be there.
Right.
But it was a place to come and gather, right?
Especially Hawaii. Hawaii seems like the place for a reunion.
Yeah.
Like we are probably the most loving community in general. Just the people itself. It really embraces reunion,
Yeah.
right?
He's trying to hype me up, man. I might do this every year again. Stop it.
So your first one, like, do you remember who was DJing? Who came through? Did you fly anybody in?
The first one, yeah.
Who won the battle?
Right. That was the animation was hosting, and his Little Caesar.
Yeah.
I was with him. They did performance with Skillroy, which
Yep.
awesome Skillroy.
There's video out there on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first B-Boy reunion
have it,
was at
yeah.
the Source.
Yeah.
That was the B-Boy reunion.
Yeah.
Was it? Wait. Was that the? Was it at the B-Boy reunion or another event where Rocksteady Hawaii battled Alien Natives? It wasn't a reunion, right? That was at a Rocksteady jam, I think.
Well, you know what? Like we were talking about our names on every position.
Yeah.
So I would change the name of the event so it didn't look like
It was a reunion.
Like it was always a B-Boy reunion.
okay.
I mean, I did like 20 of them, but they're all different names, right? Even you and I did stuff
Yeah,
together.
yeah,
Did
yeah.
Tenement,
Yep.
and stuff. Yeah, history of hip hop theater.
Yep.
Right. We
Yep.
did that.
We did that one. Yeah. And even a couple. The time that Mos Def came to our jam,
When
that was like a
Sorry
B-Boy
about that.
reunion inertia
You told me.
collab.
I didn't know. I
Yeah.
didn't know. I had the mic. I didn't know. You're like, oh yeah, no, he didn't want anyone to know.
Yeah. So the story with that is shout out to I think it was Diggs Lifestyle, Cypher Chris. They texted me. They're like, Mos Def had a show the night before reunion inertia at Campus Center Ballroom.
Okay.
We had it. They texted me when I was there. They're like, hey, Mos Def wants to go to a hip hop event or hip hop, show. So I was like, okay, just take him to the club. That was because I'm like, most rappers that come to Hawaii, they just want to go to the club.
Yeah,
I mean,
chill, right?
yeah, you know what I mean? And to my head, I'm like, yeah, I understand they're like independent artists, but a lot of these guys do want to pop bottles. They do want to be around girls. Especially
That's
Hawaii.
for real. That's real.
But then he's like, no, Mos Def wants to come to a real hip hop event. And I was like, well, we have a B-Boy event right now. Does want to come through? And they're like, yeah, that's what he wants to come to. So I was like,
That
what?
was a dope event too.
Those are really dope events.
That was a dope
So and then I was like, wait, so Mos Def, so let me get this clear. I couldn't fathom in my head that a guy like Mos Def would want to come to there's B-Boys, right? Because at that point, it was kind of a weird divide where, You know,
At that point, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a weird, like a lot of the rappers.
Elements together.
Yeah, they weren't into the elements, but he's like, no, we're bringing them through. Just don't tell nobody and don't say anything. He doesn't want pictures. He just wants to come and enjoy hip hop culture. And I was like, yo, that is like got to be the freshest thing ever to have somebody as most deaf,
That was
like looking for a hip hop event, not a club, not drinking, girls, you know, champagne bottle. He wants hip hop. And he came. He walked in, strolled on in, and then I think, was you on the mic? You're on the mic.
I heard somebody that sounded like me grabbing the mic. It said, yo, well, Steph is in the house. And then you're like, bro, he didn't want anyone to know. I was like,
No, but
here's your mic back. And actually, I never held a mic after that.
after that,
I've never held
I
a mic
took
like
the
that.
mic away from you. Like,
Forever.
do that mic. But no, I mean, he loved it. You know, it's you know what crazy is? Like, I should have pulled my, like, the one time I could have been like mad, like egotistical. I should have said, this is our jam, dude. I'm taking a picture because he wanted no pictures.
Okay.
So I respected that. But in my head, I'm like, dude.
But he has to know that someone's going to want to take a picture.
Yeah. I mean, I think I felt like I had the license to ask for a picture, but I just did it because I respected Mos Def as an artist and the fact that he wanted to come to our jam. And like, yeah, that was one of the craziest, I think, things that happened at one of the reunions events that we've did in all the years. And you've had like so many people come through, like definitely guys like Big Mox. He always hosted it. You know what I mean? You have all kind of B-boys from the mainland.
He was the winner of 2001 MC battle.
Who's the crew that
came out of that one? Oh,
who's the crew that won the first one?
Funky Nation. Give it to Eric,
Hey.
Nick, them.
I miss a lot of the B-boy crews, like Funky Nation, USB.
Beaks,
yeah, all those.
Oh yeah, Will. Oh man,
like USB was a
was
problem
Full
back
Force
in the day.
was
Full
killing it.
Force,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was killing it.
What was the name of the crew? Oh my god, with Lucky. Lucky was in.
That wasn't Kamukia side.
Was
Town
all
side,
the Kamiki boys. I think it was all Kamiki. Anyway, they had a crew. Oh, shout out to Lucky. Y'all know him. He's a great tattoo artist. But anyway, so B-Boy Reunion, you did that for a while, but you also were bringing down artists to perform as well. Who were some of the artists that you brought down to perform? You brought down DJs, turntablists.
Asia
One? No, Planet Asia.
Planet Asia. I was just looking at the flyer. Yeah, shout out to Frank and what's the name of their
Hip Hop Time Machine?
Yeah, Frank's Hip Hop Time Machine.
Yeah. But Planet Asia's doing some crazy things. But you bought
I saw him come up like.
Did you help with the ITF as well?
No, actually wasn't part of that. But I went and supported.
Yeah. I think that was with Jeru. Did you bring down Jeru at any time? Jeru came down twice. No, I think it might have been. Was that
not a sponsored?
Yeah. It was a campus center ballroom. It could. I don't know. It could have been James Viso too.
Well, because I did events there, and then I worked at a campus center.
Right.
And I was on the activities council. So
yeah,
kind of trifecta of.
So when did you start doing HawaiiHipHop.com, and what was the push behind that?
Well, that was to jump on a .com bandwagon. So we were in 97, and then I think the .com was like 01 or something.
Yeah.
2000. I wanted to grab that because I knew that it might be important one day. So I just kind of kept it, you know?
Yeah. It's the fact that nobody had it. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah. Someone tried to put a thing on it where it was Hip Hop Hawaii, but it didn't last long. I don't know who did that.
Oh, like hiphophawaii.com instead of Hawaii Hip Hop.
That could have went well, but.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
it's like, you know, even today. Like
Wild West.
Content.
Yeah.
If you're not putting content, no one's going to look at it. So I would have looked at it, but we were in the middle of it happening. That was our golden era, I guess I would say.
Yeah.
What
would you consider one of your greatest achievements helping bring up Hawaii hip hop or hip hop in general? Because you did a lot. You've always been low key, but I feel like, you know, like I want to give you the platform to be able to be like, yeah, man, I did that.
Seeing was through the B-Boy reunion where we have people who are grandparents now bringing their kids to our events, and they're making, because it's B-Boys in Olympics now, so now people are talking about breaking and stuff. And a lot of it because of us, you know, like they would never be breaking, and kind of saved a lot of lives too at the same time. So I would say, yeah, the B-Boy reunion, it kind of like made me be in college for a long time, which maybe you understand. I know some people understand me.
Oh yeah.
But now looking back at it and leaving school, you know, having to go to a war and some marriages and then coming back and finally finishing, yeah, that with my graduation, I would say was key. I've put that together.
Right.
'Cause I finally graduated 2013 by myself, and I was taking selfies. Nobody was around. It was like,
Sorry, my bad.
I did it.
Congratulations. 2 decades late.
Yeah. Yeah. I finished.
You finished school.
I finished. But we still try to keep our hands in what the major is, creativity and stuff. And I'm making money, so doing it, I'm proud of it. It's just fine. Because I say that now because during the whole time, a lot of people were telling me, you can't make money doing that, being filming, creative stuff, b-boying. I don't make so much money in it. More of it is in the movies, but you know, I'm surviving. So
Right.
you don't need everything.
So you talked about the Olympics. So what's your involvement, or do you have any input on what's going on with Hawaii and the Olympics for b-boy?
Well, there was two entities that was trying to be the main event to put on events. The winner would represent the USA. The last time I talked to him, I think there was, I went down to 2, and I was working with USA Breaking. I still am, but so USA Breaking would be one of the U.S. Events where we help train and get them ready. Not necessarily be the ones chosen, but
Right.
it's high caliber b-boys an event, and kind of shows where you're at and helps with the U.S. Progress for
Right.
b-boys and b-girls.
So where do you think Hawaii falls on the level of b-boying in the pantheon of the Olympics, or just in general? Like, where's Hawaii's caliber at now?
I think we've always had one of the top b-boys or b-girls, right?
I mean, all the way back from Dez. Shout out to Dez.
There's, I think like it's different now because they're not just b-boying, but they're actually mentoring more the future, like 808 Breakers, Hijack, and Arc.
Yeah,
I
shout
think
out to 808.
Arc moving back here was a big. He's gonna have a big impact, and
Huge.
he already has. Like
Yeah.
they got the keiki breaks, the bows, and now I just added to follow, request to follow the Manini breaks.
What does Manini breaks?
Yeah.
Wait, there's some Manini breaks?
They just started, I guess.
Oh, crazy.
Because they had the keiki breaks, right?
Yeah.
So I guess those guys are getting older, and so
that's
but
dope.
but they're keeping the tradition going. What I've noticed before was we've had this every few years we had a dominant crew,
Yeah,
and then they would go away, get old, have families.
right.
But this generation, they keep it going more. Maybe because it's social media, but I see it more, and people see it more, and it's more. It's not just a soccer mom,
Right.
skate, rebellious. It's on the same platform.
Yeah.
Breaking is there's an option for them now.
Breaking is definitely an option. So many avenues
I like
to
that.
explore.
I like that I was a part of that.
Yeah.
To answer part of your last question, I like that as part of that, being a part of that, to have that happen. You know,
Right.
I feel like I am.
I feel like it's definitely for 808, you know, and Tom Solo as well. Tom Solo is doing his thing with the youth.
Right. Shout
I
out to
think I
Tom.
feel like it's a conscious decision from these individuals, Ark and Hijack and the rest of the 808, to perpetuate b-boying. It has to be, because you don't make money.
Right.
You
right,
don't.
Right.
The reward has to be able to be cashed in by seeing your passion being transferred to the next generation. And that takes a lot from individuals, because I've always felt like you saying, certain crews every so often they come the elite crew for 3, 4, 5 years, and then they disappear. I mean, like you said, a lot of us, families, jobs, responsibilities, but like 808 seems to have figured it out, where it's like, nah, it's bigger than that. They can still have relationships, families, jobs, but they're like, no, we need to, what we've learned, what we've experienced from traveling, especially Ark, right? Out there in San Francisco.
Right.
Coming back and be like, nah, man, we need to do this for the next generation, you know. And then Kiki breaks come, Manini breaks, and then I really believe that unless Hawaii has a crew like that, always in an integral part of the culture, that's what causes the dip that we felt back in the 92s, 93s, 94s, you know. Because, I mean, when I was like trying to break in like 94, I remember it's like more of a
I know that.
Yeah, but I stuck with DJ and
See this
MCs.
footage.
Nah, dude, like there's footage out there. It's brown bags from Kamehameha, but
Really?
yeah, but I mean, yeah, but I realized I just did it because it's part of hip hop. It's just an element.
It's just what you did.
Yeah, you know, it's what I did. But there was it's funny you just said there was a lull where it's just like house dancing, more like, you
But
know,
it isn't
housing.
necessarily anyone's fault. It was like to know about the East Coast. For the West Coast, it's like they're all, oh, that's just a fad, this and that.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you're
yeah.
not going to go and start popping.
Yeah,
And then they're like,
unless you're a big Samoan guy and no one says nothing.
Right.
Oh, popping. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, look at the skinny Hawaiian guy. Ah, you're whack. No, that's true. No, everybody did thought it was a fad, but it was huge. I mean, it was huge in the 80s, and then, yeah, I guess maybe people thought that fad was done, you know?
And, you know, and for what a lot of old school did to help it become what it is today is shout out to all the old school heads, because it wouldn't be, you know. It wasn't just breaking too, it was the fashion of it, the knowledge of it, and for my end, the video of it. Shout out to the video man right there. Video camera. I used to do that, and it helped.
Yeah.
Like especially at UH, we had a show on the other place would help. I would show the video,
right.
So you can see it, and then it helped too. It's not just you're just breaking on the.
That's kind of true, because back in the 90s, there was no YouTube.
There's no YouTube.
There's no social media, so unless you knew somebody that was breaking, that's the only way you technically would learn.
You know, I was working on a movie, and the other day I was in Waialua, and I remember we had gone there to put up posters, which we don't do now, right?
Right.
But we just got all over the island. Really.
Yeah. Posters and flyers.
I didn't put them up, but I know people
that
had put them up.
Oh, I did.
I didn't put any one staple.
You had to do that. You had to do that to promote your event.
But it was
flyers,
up there.
posters. You had to bomb
pass out
everything.
flyers, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness! Not everyone's gonna remember that one.
So, would you let's get who's some of your favorite b-boys of all time?
I like Richard. Still, I don't know if we didn't get enough of him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Richard Gabrice?
Yep. Did he have what was his b-boy name?
I think it was rated R.
Nice. I never knew. I just knew it was Richard.
But I didn't expect that.
Oh, okay.
I was like, man, it was just, and he'd come up with these crazy inventions and stuff.
Yeah.
Like rolling, and then he just kept rolling and rolling to the side. It's like he made that up. It's like, what the heck? And then, so here's one cool info for the listeners, watchers. Watchers now. So as Hawaii, is this place that everyone wants to go to. We started throwing jams, and everyone started throwing b-boy events. We would fly in people, and they didn't know us from here, from LA and stuff. Then when we would battle, they would battle. Of course, you get to a new place, you battle.
Yeah.
It's like what I did, battle, and then you become friends and you perform together.
Yeah.
And during the circles over here, I'm going to do this move, that move. I'm like, bro, that's not your move. So then, but in Hawaii, it's so original.
Right.
It would be very heated and competitive. Richard would come out, do some moves, and they're like, what is that? And then later I would see moves and videos and whatnot of a lot of like ABC
Wow.
inspired moves. But then now these are top-notch b-boys around the world traveling. Because when you travel, you
Right.
learn and watch.
You learn,
stuff.
yeah.
And you not necessarily bite, but you
Right.
make it into
Yeah.
your own form,
Definitely.
which is what
That's why you travel.
we do, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I travel.
But I've seen a lot of
Oh, so you've seen a lot of
Hawaii-inspired moves.
moves.
So Hawaii is up there.
Yeah.
You'll see that. And then,
Shout out to Richard, man.
yeah, it's incredible.
Anybody else on the list? Favorite? No topping or ranking, but just the list. Doesn't have to be Hawaii, but in general.
One guy that inspired us from the Lords was Jet. He had some great tops. I remember we used to battle, like back in LA, we used to be at the Armory. Like we would rent out these little halls and stuff.
Right.
And that was, might have been their golden era, but before even like Black Eyed Peas was Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah.
They were a dance crew.
Right.
I used to dance in the same circle as them and stuff. They were pretty dope. I remember one time I was at Apple's house. We were like making rice and shit. I showed them how to flare because I used to be really good at flares.
Yeah, wait, you're at Apple's the App's house.
Yeah, making rice.
From Black Eyed Peas, making rice, and then he wanted to learn how to flare.
He just asked, like, you talk about your strong points. And
Right,
stuff.
right.
And for some reason, he wasn't Black Eyed Peas yet. I think they were building it up. And he goes, by the way, do you rap? I said, no, I don't. Like, I can't even try and stuff. So I started flaring. It's, oh, that's cool. And then, next thing you know, I joined the Army like that same year. And then I see, Black Eyed Peas.
Oh, that's crazy.
And they're like rapping. I was like, bro, I was just at his house.
You just at his
I
house.
showed how to flare. It was so crazy. And just a lot of people got, came up and
Yeah.
did great things.
If you didn't go to Army, you might have been in the Black Eyed Peas.
Well, I could have been.
Because they're all
a lot
dancers.
then,
They're all
yeah.
dancers.
They're all dancers.
Right.
Yeah. They're all dancers. Yeah.
What area was that? Did App?
He lived in the valley, I think.
Okay.
Somewhere in the valley. Valley has its own good and bads, but
Yeah.
I felt like he was in a good spot.
Nice. Well, that's crazy, man. What a small world.
Yeah, he came out. He did his thing. I know he's adopted and overcame that and goes back to the Philippines, which now I am. I just came back from the Philippines.
Right.
Now I'm like sponsoring every year.
Yeah, what is the future of Lord One, HipHopcom, B-Boy Reunion? What can we expect?
Well, I'll tell you, like after this last event that you did, I was like, dude, I retired, bro. Like I'm just gonna sponsor your events. Like you got it down. Like how do you do that? Like only our competitive side, but your spirit and you do it for the community. So I'm down to sponsor you. I like to sponsor more stuff and travel.
Yeah.
So like Clifton from Kauai does one every year in the
Shout out to
Philippines.
Cliff. Yeah.
So I'm gonna sponsor his event in May. I want to go. Depends on the health, but because I'm more towards retirement than being 35,
Yeah.
32. So.
Flip that around. Add a couple numbers.
Right. So
that's good. So you're taking a role of almost like an elder statesman, kind of like looking to see who needs help, Who can I support?
Like
and kind of take that back role.
Like who I could have went up to when I was
Right.
starting off. There's nobody. Even when I started off, like they're like, "Why you bringing that back again?" Like, no one wants to do it. I'm trying to pass out sponsorship packets.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to do it again. But you can't stop it.
Can't. I think if some kid came up to me with a sponsorship packet, I would be like, I'm gonna look at it.
Yeah.
I'll be like, dang,
respect, right?
okay. If I can support this kid anyway, I will, because that's like a lost art, real hustle.
So I do want to give final thoughts if we're at the final end of this.
Yeah.
To, of course, when you're b-boying and you're battling and you run into people that it's hard to keep you moving forward, but you got to keep going forward. I like to say, when we went to the event, it might have hit you too, but Asia's Wellness event inspired me to do the b-boy reunion, number one, foremost. And I got to tell her like a couple years ago, which is awesome. And then, and to connect with that, like East had brought that. It's my connect and gave me some tips on how to move stuff, and he made my logo and stuff. And Little Caesar taught me from day one, like, since you brought it up, like the proposal. Like he actually, I think he emailed it to me. I didn't know anything about anything. Like I would just give my money, and
Right.
I didn't know you can get stuff. Like one time, Zoo Gummy helped me, and next thing you know, I had like 20 pairs of Dada shoes in my garage. Like, thank you. What is this? Is this happening now?
Oh, this how it works.
Yeah. So, yeah, most definitely. Excited to see what happens next, and your next event.
So what's the last words of wisdom for the people? How about for the youth? Since we're transferring your wisdom and
just
knowledge.
keep breaking and break for yourself, and just do it because you love it. If you don't love it anymore, just stop. Don't even do it. Just love what you do, man. Be yourself. Yeah.
Lord One, Clark Cuadro, thank you. B-Boy Reunion, HawaiiHipHop.com. ALANUI MELE on PBS Hawaii's Capital Catalyst.
TB.
Peace.
Mahalo for listening to ALANUI MELE on PBS Hawaii. Introduction beat by Just One O. You can listen to ALANUI MELE on all streaming platforms and check us on social media at PBS Hawaii or www.pbshawaii.org.